Hey everybody, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing the October 2019 tarot reading for the sign of Pisces. Now, as you know, I've been falling behind with the last sign, so sorry about that. It's just I've been sick, so I haven't been able to record and upload on time. However, I was determined to get these finished, so there may be some things that come up in the read that's already come to pass, but there may be things that are coming up over the next week or so. So yeah, I do apologise that it's a bit late, but hopefully this will still resonate with some of you. If not, then do check out some of the other signs depending on the placement of them in your natal chart. So you can have a look for your sun, moon and rising, as they will also apply depending on the sign and your circumstances. So let's get straight to it. So I'll be using a Celtic Cross style spread, using the Wild Unknown Tarot, clarifying with the intuitive as always. In your present, you have the Eight of Swords in the upright. So, yeah, okay. So you may be walking away from some conflict at this time, and because it's been an exhausting uphill battle, you're having to retreat from a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of circumstances that have just been emotionally and mentally draining for you. So you're kind of going into this cocoon mode right now, where you're just trying to recover your strength and energy from this circumstance. It could be a circumstance, it could be a number of things that have happened in your, in this current month that's been really quite draining for you. So that's why you're kind of retreating. You're in this retreat mode at this time. So when we clarify, we'll look more into that as to what that could be referencing exactly. In regards to the position of your challenge, you have the Father of Pentacles. So obviously this represents the King of Pentacles, earth energy. So it may be that, depending on the circumstances that have occurred, it's had quite a lot of physical strain on you as well. It could be that you've taken a financial loss, or it could be that I feel like some of you have lost some property in some way, or you've had to move, relocate, because something within the household wasn't right, or something went awry and it forced you to relocate, move home, or cut your losses in some way. So after all this uphill battle that didn't end the way you would hope, at least with some kind of positive resolution, or at least something in your favour, I feel like that didn't quite happen. So you're just kind of cutting your losses and you're retreating in this new location. That's what I'm getting. I mean, just take it if it resonates, okay? So in regards to your recent past, you have the Four of Wands. So it could be that you're walking away from a marriage. Could be that you divorced recently, and that's what you're walking away from. So that's why there was that feeling of a loss of property or some financial loss, as well as obviously it being very emotionally and mentally draining for you. So definitely, I feel like for some of you, you're entering a divorce. You're walking away from a long-term partner. There's separation here. It might not be something as official and final as divorce, but definitely separation on some level. In your near future, you have the Ace of Swords. So there's some real strong communication coming in very, very soon, or possibly over the next week or so. Something that's either going to be triggered or initiated by yourself or by a third party. Could be a lawyer, could be that you get some good news that allows you to move forward in cutting ties with this person. It could be that you just communicate your thoughts and feelings for the first time on this circumstance and what it is that you plan to do moving forward. But some real important communication is coming in very shortly, and that's going to have a huge impact on the series of things that have come to follow after this circumstance. So if there's a settlement, some kind of agreement, if you have children, your plans around how you're going to manage that so you both get to spend enough quality time with them, things like that. But something's going to be communicated very strongly and directly, and that is going to have an impact. So we'll look at that. So in relation to what's within your power to affect, what's crowning you, you have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So yeah, I feel like that, as I said, I feel like there were certain things about this circumstance that forced you to take action. I don't feel like it was you that initiated this divorce, this separation. I feel like the other person did. But some aspect of it really kind of forced you to look at things differently. And that you had to realize that, okay, even though this feels like a disaster in a lot of ways, it may actually be leading to something better, that the Wheel of Fortune is turning. And while you may feel like for a long time it's been working against you, it may actually be working for you. This may actually be some kind of blessing in disguise, although sure there'll be difficulties, there'll be things about it that's very challenging and upsetting. There may be something that comes about that changes your perspective on this, and you realize that actually I had to come full circle with this, and this is where I'm being brought to so that I can start this new beginning, right? Okay. And in regards to your feelings, you have the Three of Swords in reverse. So it could be, dear Pisces, it could be that your partner left you for someone else and you found that out, and that shattered your world. And it forced you to realize that actually there were a lot of warning signs over some days, weeks, months, possibly even years, that something was amiss, and that you've been some of you may have been purposely overlooking those signs because it was easier to ignore than to face the reality that actually maybe this person wasn't emotionally available to you anymore, that maybe that they were giving their affections elsewhere. Also, it could be that family members got involved, friends got involved, and that added to the conflicts that you was already having with your significant other, because everyone was piping in and giving in their opinion when it was actually making the situation much worse. But I feel like for some of you there was definitely a third party situation, and they came clean about it and basically told you that they didn't want this relationship anymore. And if that's the case, I'm really sorry. That's got to be really tough to hear, particularly if you still have strong feelings for this person. But know that it's better that this comes to light, even if, that means that they choose someone else. It's better it comes to light and you know the truth, and then you can heal and move on with your life, than being fed a lie, right? That's not what you want. So it's better at least to know what the situation is. So in regards to the position of the advice, you have the Two of Swords in reverse. So I think for some time you've just kind of allowed things to happen to you, Pisces, but now it's your turn to change things, okay? As I said, that Wheel of Fortune, you feel like it's been working against you, but actually I feel like there is a blessing in disguise coming up for you, and that this is going to help you to realize your power. It's going to help you to step into the role of a creator, someone who is actively manifesting things within their life rather than life just happening to them, okay? I think you've been a backseat passenger for too long, and this is why these kind of circumstances have occurred, right? So it forces you to take action and be an active participant in your life, right? In your reality. So in regards to your external influences at this time, you have the Father of Cups, which is the King of Cups in reverse. This is water energy. This is your energy, Pisces, okay? So I feel like you're sitting in this space right now that maybe before all of this started to come to a head, maybe you were sitting in this energy for some time because you were genuinely content with your day-to-day life, but the cracks were showing and they got deeper and deeper and deeper until eventually everything split open, okay? And that put you into this position. And while it's going to be very tough, and yes, I understand that there's a lot of processing to do and a lot of healing to do, it's not beyond you, okay? That I feel like this person that you're disconnected from, I feel like they're feeling this a little bit as well. Because you're having to withdraw from them, they're feeling that loss, okay? Because they're used to you being in that position as well and getting that nurturing from them. Even though they weren't giving it to you 100%, they were also giving it elsewhere, or they were just disconnected if it wasn't a third party situation. But they're feeling that, they're feeling your absence, as you're pulling away and moving out of the home, they're feeling your absence. So they are also in this situation. And I feel like others around you are trying to tiptoe around you right now because they know you're having a hard time, and they don't want to kind of push any of your buttons, I feel. So everyone's kind of tiptoeing around you and trying not to say the wrong thing because they're scared that if they say the wrong thing, it can trigger a reaction, okay? But that's not to say people don't care about you. They care about you. I think you have several people in your life that care about you, but they just don't always know what to say, right? People don't know how to make you feel better or how to best support you. So if you're having a rough time and you need that support, communicate to those closest to you how they can best support you, okay? Because people don't know. Often they don't. They're like, I wish I could help, but I have no idea what to do. So if you know what you need from them and you trust them enough to be vulnerable with them and just, do whatever you need to do, then speak to them, just say, look, I could really do with just hanging out, or I could do with a hug, something simple like that, but it can have a big impact, when you're feeling really low. So if you are having a bad one, if you are feeling it emotionally and physically and spiritually and on all levels, reach out to those closest to you, okay? You don't have to deal with things alone. Now, in regards to the position of your fears, you have the Three of Cups in reverse. So I think, again, like I said, this again suggests to me a possible third-party situation with some of you. And they not only did they make it known that your worst fears regarding this relationship was confirmed, they then told you that they wanted to be with the other person, right? And that's a heavy blow to your confidence, I feel. But you've got to understand that is not a reflection on you as a person. It just means that over time people change. The things people want changes. People gravitate towards different people for different reasons. And some cycles naturally come to an end, and it may be that your particular cycle with this person was coming to an end, but they didn't go about it in a way that was best for you and everyone involved, really. But it may just be that the way they went about it wasn't the best way to approach it. But it could be something that kind of just formed naturally, but unfortunately they didn't speak up sooner enough. They allowed it to play out and then get to this point, which is hopefully the lesson they will learn from this, that there's consequences to your actions, right? So I know it sucks right now, but trust me, you're not going to be sitting in this hurt energy forever. It's just going to take a bit of time to process and some healing that you need to do, okay? But give yourself time to do that. And don't fixate on what went down, like, the fact that they did cheat on you and they're with someone else now. Don't even give that your energy, okay? Focus on healing yourself, alright? So in regards to your hopes, you have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So I think you really wanted to just purge everything. I think you feel like you've carried enough over enough time, and you really want to just surrender yourself to the process, right? To the grieving process. It takes time. I think many of you, obviously, initially, you was probably incredulous as to how you found yourself in this situation. And I imagine there was, a lot of upset, a lot of hurt. You're possibly even bargaining with them, so trying to find some kind of solution, but they were not hearing any of it. But I feel like many of you now realized it's done, and that you're gonna you're gonna have to reach that point reach that point of acceptance. But it's a process and it takes time. But right now you're kind of just in the purge. You're just purging a lot of that emotions, which in part is also accepting the fact that, you know, what is done, all you can do is heal. So I feel like you are moving into that space of acceptance, but it's going to take time, okay? So just give yourself the time you need to make sense of your feelings, to make sense of your thoughts, and, you know, what you need moving forward, okay? So in regards to the outcome, you have the Daughter of Wands. So that's the Page of Wands in the upright. So yeah, I mean, there is an opportunity for a beautiful new beginning. That's the point here. And you are stepping into this this space of newness, right? As a fledgling creator, right? For the first time in a long time, or possibly even ever for some of you, you're going to be moving into a space where you realize that actually you can create your life, okay? You don't have to just let life happen to you and accept whatever comes your way. That actually there are things that are within your reach, right? There are things that are within your power to affect. So you're going to be experimenting a little bit. You're going to be testing the waters. You're going to be pushing yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit. You might try things you've never done before. You might travel or whatever it is. Take a new hobby, you know, move to a new area. But I just feel like this is like a rebirth for you, okay? You have a situation where, okay, everything feels like it's falling down. I haven't seen the tower, but I feel like for emotionally, some of you is going to feel like you're having a tower moment. But that's actually leading you towards something more. You had to lose this situation because it wasn't healthy. And that actually there was just a lot of heartache and deception there, you know, because, you know, their feelings were going to someone else. So, yeah, it's better to come out of this situation and step into this energy. And I feel like you are. You know, it's just obviously there is some purging to be done still, as I said. So try not to focus too much on the negatives, Pisces, okay? Because I know that, yeah, it's a heavy situation for those of you who applies. And it's going to take time, but you're not alone. You are being supported. And that this is actually preparing you for a whole new life, okay? One where you have more say and more power than you're used to. Alright? So do try and take the positives from it, because it's really important that you don't just look at the negatives of the situation, even though it's very easy and it's very clear to do that. You know, it's very clear what the negatives are, and it's easy to focus on them. It's best if you don't, because otherwise that's just going to bring you down further, and it's not going to add any value to your life, okay? Especially when you have an opportunity to rebuild in the way you wish to, okay? Without having to pander to someone else's will, okay? In regards to your present, that Eight of Swords there, you have the Five of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Cups. So yeah, this is you recognizing that you've done everything, you gave it your best shot. Obviously you feel like, okay, obviously it wasn't enough, but I know I did everything I could in the relationship. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way I planned. I felt like there was even things that I should have communicated that I didn't get to communicate, but I'm just so exhausted, I just can't do it anymore. I need to just kind of leave it as it is, even if it does feel unresolved in some ways. I'm kind of accepting the fact that I can't continue with this, and I can't force anyone to listen to me or to give me the chance to explain my thoughts and feelings on the situation. So I'm just going to walk away and, you know, go and retreat and recover and recuperate from, you know, the strain and the stress of this circumstances, right? So that's what you're doing right now. You're just trying to recollect after, you know, the huge energy tower moment that you had, okay? In terms of, like, at least on an emotional level, you're just trying to regroup after everything that came to light. So yeah, with regards to the challenge with that Father of Pentacles energy there, you have the World card in reverse, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and the Eight of Swords in reverse. So that's like basically communicating that your focus right now needs to be on yourself. It needs to be on, you know, healing your internal world, okay? Not necessarily, I feel like with the World card here, it's not necessarily about going outward. I mean, you might travel, you might do that, go on a bit of a sabbatical to try and heal your wounds, but I feel like more than anything, you are going to be really having to spend time internally trying to heal from this situation, because obviously it's been very stressful, right? And it's caused you a lot of upset, right? And especially with this energy, you were in this energy for a long time before all this. You know, you felt like you was being ignored, left out, pushed to the side, neglected emotionally, right? And physically, just the person wasn't really available so much. But now you know why that is, so you're just removing yourself from that situation where you're like, okay, well, rather than sitting there and waiting for the person to come back to me, I know that's not going to happen, so I'm just going to let them go. Even though it's hard for me to do that because I can't deal with the stress and the conflict that comes with this. I'm just stuck, you know. I was stuck for a long time, but at least now I'm free, so I can move away from this circumstance. And I want to get back into the space where I feel like I have more control over my surroundings and, you know, my day-to-day life, right? And not have to worry about whether or not that person's going to come in and just destroy everything that I've been building. So in regards to your, what's crowning you, what's within your power to affect, the Wheel of Fortune there, you've got the Two of Wands in reverse and Page of Swords in reverse. So you're really, as I said, you haven't been in your power for a long time. And this circumstance is a mirror of that. That's a reflection of that, of you not being within your power. The Page of Swords in reverse is saying that maybe at one time you were very good at communicating, right? And that maybe when you were in your power, you wouldn't have stood for this nonsense as long as you have. But because you've been out of sync for some time, you feel like you can't communicate as clearly and directly as you used to. That there's more hesitancy there. That if you feel like you can't really articulate what it is that you're thinking and feeling and what you need. You're not as forthcoming as you used to be because your energy has been knocked, your confidence has been knocked by everything that's transpired within this connection. But what's important to note is that while, yes, you have been thrown off course for some time, that doesn't mean you have to stay in this energy. You can change it. That's one of the most important things you need to know, that you have the power to change this, right? That you can step back into your energy and go beyond where you've been before. You will find, you know, you will find clarity and a new way of expressing yourself without feeling like you're constantly second guessing yourself or what you want, right? It's just that first, in order to be able to do this, you really need to tackle this, okay? So you not being attuned to your own natural frequency, right? To your soul level frequency, your higher self. So that needs to be your focus at this point, because you can step in there, okay? And step into that energy, you know? You just need to tap in and you need to detach yourself from this circumstance and the people involved, because they are lowering your frequency. It's toxic, right? So you need to remove yourself from that. Okay. So in regards to what's your feelings, with the Three of Swords, you have the Magician in reverse and the Four of Swords. So, yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? So this third party situation was a nightmare, but the truth came out, you found out the score, and they told you that they're leaving you for this other person, okay? And that made you feel like shit. No lie. Just being honest. It made you feel like shit. It made you feel like, how the hell did this even happen to me? Like, you're probably even thinking, back in the day, like, this wouldn't have happened. You know, I was the one that, you know, people were proud to be with, and, you know, if things were starting to go wrong, then I would get up and leave. I wouldn't find myself in a situation where they're already cheating on me or whatever, right? So how the hell did I get here? That's probably what you're questioning. How did things get this screwed up? But again, because you're not in your power. So when people recognize that you're not in your power and you're more vulnerable and it's easier to take advantage of you, they do that, right? It happens, you know, toxic people do that, they take advantage. And that's basically what happened, you know. It's not that you manifested this circumstance through choice, it was just one of those things that was related to your lack of power, right? Not being in your full element. So the universe is trying to teach you the importance of that. Because if you don't, then yeah, there's going to be people that take advantage, right? And that's why you really can't just sit in this space of just allowing life to happen around you and, you know, just expect that it will be okay in the end. No, you have to stand your ground. You have to stand up for yourself and claim what it is that you want in life, okay? You're being taught that whatever you just accept will be your reality. So why not, you know, why not live life on your terms, right? Okay. So in regards to your recent past with the Four of Wands in reverse there, because yeah, I feel like again that was definitely the separation. You got the Hierophant in reverse, so again divorce. Temperance card, so healing needed in regards to this situation. So it may be that you've already recently gone through the divorce, or that it's been initiated. They've sent you paperwork, or they've informed you that they're going to be applying for the paperwork or go through the high courts or whatever. Or something to do with custody if you've got children, and it's emotionally draining for you, but you know that it's a process and it's something you have to kind of just go through. And while the circumstances is not pleasant at this time, you have to take the positives from it, that, well, at least I'm not in this bullshit anymore. But yeah, I feel like that with the Hierophant being in reverse there as well. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely signaling divorce there. Okay. So in regards to the near future with that Ace of Swords there, yeah, so I feel like the other party's being kind of deceptive about how they're going about this situation, because with this here, I feel like what they're kind of doing is like, you're really saying no more bullshit, like I'm done with it. They're still throwing excuses and obstacles, and I feel like they're trying to make sure that they come out as best as they possibly can from this situation. While disregarding what it's been pulling you through, right? So you're just like absolutely done, okay? But you're having to still contend with some of these obstacles that they're throwing your way. So you're trying to just like cut through that as easily and quickly and as efficiently as possible, so you can just dead the whole situation because you're just done with it. You know, it's an absolute nonsense at this stage. But as I said, this person is more worried about how they appear and, you know, as how they can come out as best as possible from the situation than the pain that they've been causing at this time. So that sucks, and trust me, I've been in that situation, so I know exactly how you feel. It's shit, I know, but at the end of the day, you know, you will resolve this, okay? If you keep to that no-nonsense, you know, direct approach, you will find solutions, okay? No matter how many obstacles they try and throw up, how much they try to deviate and ignore certain things, right? You just go through the process, be as honest and direct as possible, and you just try and get this resolved as quickly as possible, and you should be fine. But yeah, I know it's a headache, but you just got to take the high ground, I'm afraid. Just let them run around doing whatever they want to do, but you just keep staying the course, okay? Because this is all changing, and it's going to reflect far better for you than it is for them, okay? So with the position of the advice, you had the Two of Swords in reverse. So you have the Justice card in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles. So this is what I'm talking about, okay? So while you feel like this has been out of your hands, it wasn't your decision, it is actually working in your best interest. While the situation itself is nonsense and not very pleasant, it's so that you are not caught in this toxic cycle anymore, okay? It had to come to an end because there was no way you was going to be able to mediate with this person. They already started. I feel like for some time they've known they didn't want this relationship anymore. They didn't necessarily have the guts to tell you, okay? So with the Nine of Pentacles here as well, like I feel like this is happening so that you are aligned with your power. So you start to manifest the abundance that you're entitled to, that you've been denied from, okay? You've been denied this abundance because of the circumstance you're in, of the toxic energy around you, especially regarding this individual. So now that's been cleared out, you'll start to see some real positive things come through, right? Which is great. This is what I was telling you. This is, as much as this is a lesson and a learning curve, this is helping you to step into your power, so that when you are, in your true element, when you recognize someone that's offering you something that's lacking, you're not going to accept that. You're going to already see the signs that think, no way, I'm not doing this again. This is not my first rodeo, right? So you're not going to accept the same nonsense that you receive from this person, okay? So it's a good thing in the end, right? For sure. So as I said, with the advice position, the King of Cups in reverse, what did I say? Tower. And Seven of Wands. So yeah, I knew the Tower would come up eventually, because this is a Tower moment for you, of course. With the divorce, separation at least. Massive changes, lifestyle changes for you. So yeah, of course, this has been a Tower moment for you. But this Tower, as I said, with the Wheel of Fortune also, blessing in disguise, I'm telling you. Like, that is my main message to you here, that yes, on the surface, it's not looking great. And yes, how you're feeling at the moment is not great. But it's realigning you for something much more, okay? Something that's genuine, that's real, where you're not giving and not getting back, where you're not constantly second guessing your worth because someone is not seeing it or showing you it. It's getting rid of all that toxic energy, so that you can, when you're ready and you connect with someone on a real level, you're going to be aligned, and it's going to be beautiful, it's going to be powerful, it's not going to be lackluster and halfway, right? You're going to be both on the same page. So that's why it's really important that you clear all this baggage, that you remove these kinds of connections, and that you step into, your full confidence, right? Because the way you look at yourself will affect the circumstances that come into your life as well. So it's really important that that gets addressed, because like I said, you've been out of your power for way too long, okay? And yeah, and I feel like, as I said, like that, that need for being guarded, that need for just kind of not allowing anything to sway you in any direction, because it seems like it's probably, like, if it's positive, it's probably not real. It's too good to be true, right? That's not how you can live your life, okay? Living life feeling like every positive thing that happens to you is a lie, that's damaging, okay? That's really toxic. So yes, that's another reason why this situation had to come to an end, because that it cannot be, right? You can't live like that. So it had to be removed. So again, in relation to your fears, you had the Three of Cups in reverse. So unfortunately, that was your worst fears realized. However, Six of Pentacles in reverse, Eight of Pentacles upright. This situation, while in the beginning, it may have been everything you wanted when you got married, when you got together. You may have felt like, yeah, this is it, I'm going to spend my life with this person. Actually, no, that wasn't what this was intended for. This connection was intended with the purpose of teaching you something valuable about our relationships with others, about our relationships with ourselves, and what we can expect to receive in life if we do not respect ourselves and set boundaries. I mean, I totally get that, because that's something I have to learn myself, so I'm not judging, trust me. Although I feel like I'm getting better with that, I do understand, so no judgment here. It's just literally that's what I feel is the case. That this was a real steep learning curve for you, so that your future connections, your future relationships won't be filled with this toxicity and rubbish. You know, it'll come from somewhere genuine, and that people are not going to be able to take advantage as easily, okay? Because, you know, you invested so much into the relationship over these months, years, however long it's been. But the other person wasn't doing the same. They weren't even there at this point. So you were just looking, waiting, wondering what's going on. Are they coming back? Do they still want this? Do they care about this? Are they investing still? Are they willing to invest? Or what's happening, right? But you got your answer. You know now why that was. So in relation to your hopes, as I said, with the Ten of Cups in reverse, you're just wanting to purge everything at this time so you can start afresh. You have the Four of Cups. So again, a new opportunity, even though it feels like a bittersweet one, it is a new opportunity to start afresh, okay? And with the Page of Wands energy, it's like, you know, you have to kind of take baby steps with it, but just think about the little things you want in life. Like, oh, okay, so when I move into my place, I want to make sure I have some nice coffee. So at least when I finish work, I can come back and have a nice cup of coffee. Something as small as that can make a big difference, okay? And little changes you can make, like, oh, rather than going to the pub and drinking alone like I have been, I'm going to start reading more. When I get back, I'm going to make sure I'm reading a book with my coffee. You know, things like that. Just little changes that are going to really have a positive impact on you. And before you know it, you've changed one thing after another, and your life is looking very different within just a few months, okay? So that's the kind of energy you're going to have to embody. But I think that's kind of what you want as well. Like I said, that's in the position of your hopes. So I think that's your plan. You want to kind of just, you know, let the dust settle, pick up the pieces, and start afresh elsewhere and take a new approach to your life. So that's very positive, right? That's exactly what you need to do, Pisces. So in regards to the position of what it is, of what's the outcome, the Daughter of Wands, Page of Wands, clarified by the Eight of Wands in reverse. So yeah, I think where before you was kind of, you were ready to kind of defend what you believed in and what you felt was, you know, your perfect home, your family unit. You're willing to defend it to the death until you realize that it wasn't what it was. And now it's a case of, okay, well, if it wasn't what it was, then I can start anew, right? I can just build what I want, how I want. You know, because it's like, what am I holding on to? There's nothing to hold on to anymore. So rather than worrying about what was lost, I mean, yes, that's going to be there. I'm still going to have to deal with that. I'm going to focus more on what I can create, this energy, right? So you're kind of like realizing and putting certain things to bed in your mind, so that you can then step into this energy of, okay, so this is what I've lost, but this is what I'm going to create. Okay, so again, it's like transforming negative aspects of a situation into positive aspects of a new situation, right? So there is a bit of alchemy going on here in regards to not just emotions, but I feel like it's more to do with you literally shaping your life, you know, completely rebuilding your life. And for the first time in a long time, stepping into your power, getting a real sense of empowerment and self-worth and self-respect again, which is really, really important. So this is like, I had something similar in a previous read, but not to this level as it is for you, Pisces. This is you really coming in strong, particularly when you're fully out of this situation, once the settlement's done, once, think the financial, physical stuff is sorted out and you've boxed all your stuff out, you've moved out, you're in your new place. Or if they're leaving, they've boxed their stuff up, they've moved out. And, you're just rearranging your life. That's when you'll start to really step into your power. So, yeah, I mean, that's the read for you I've got at the moment. But for sure, this is just the beginning. So I really hope we can kind of pick this up next time. Of course, again, it's a general read, so I don't know what message is going to come through. It could be very different for a different set of people, so we'll see. But either way, if this resonated with you, I really wish you all the best in your, new circumstance. Just remember, you don't have to do this alone. Remember, you've got support. Reach out. Also, if you ever want to just contact someone who's kind of a stranger, who it's going to be like confidential with, you're always welcome to message me. I have social media and my email address on my channel, so by all means feel free to drop me a message if you just want some, someone to listen or some friendly advice. But yeah, I mean, I hope that this was useful for you. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if it was interesting and it resonated with your circumstance. Subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. But honestly, just remember that you've got this, okay? You're stronger than you think. So honestly, I wish you from the bottom of my heart all the best, okay?